Hello, movie lovers, and welcome to my movie review, non-spoiler review for Justice League. Now, this is actually the DC universe of the Avengers. Now, this is what I have to say about it. I thought this movie was very good for what it was. I was actually really not that hesitant or anything. I really like Batman vs. Superman. I know I'm in the minority on that, and I like Suicide Squad, and I'm also in the minority of that. So, is this a good movie or is it not a good movie? That's debatable. So let's go on ahead and go into this whole entire thing. First of all, and everything, you have the big bad. You have Steppenwolf. He's in there. He's off to pretty much put an end to mankind as we know it. And then guess what happens? The Justice League. So basically, Bruce has to go around traveling around the world, trying to get Aquaman on board, Cyborg on board, and you also have to get Cyborg, but you also have to get Barry Allen on board too, and which is also the Flash. And then he did do a good job with this movie. I felt like Barry Allen, Ezra Miller, did an awesome job at playing the Flash. I thought he was really good with it. He was very awkward in this movie. He's not actually the Flash that we know yet, so that's also another positive thing too. It gives you more layers to what's going to happen next if and when they do Flashpoint, the next Flash movie, the next DC movie. But other than that, I felt like the character chemistry is there with every single character. Each individual had its own time. I felt like they tied that in very well together. Then another thing too that needs to be worked out in everything. Another thing too, you need to actually know if these characters are actually going to work together and see if these things are going to actually establish some type of chemistry with each other. What I have to say about this is, yes, every single character worked in this whole entire movie. The actors actually served the purpose of what they had to do. They all bounced off each other well. Each individual side story and everything was very good. I really loved the plot development. It is a very fast-paced movie for that matter, too. And at first I was like, okay, is this really going to be what it's going to be? Where it's very fast-paced. Everybody winds up being on the team, and that's the end of it. I was really hoping that it wasn't going to be that much of a fast-paced film. But as we got into the whole entire thing, you actually see the plot progress, you actually see everything progress, and I really liked how they did it. Now, this didn't, another thing too is, we actually get to see how certain things are actually set up. We actually get to see why that this is not the first time Steppenwolf has actually tried to do this and everything, but you know, it gives you nods to other comics. It gives you nods to everything else. So if you're really loving, if you're a really big comic book nerd like I am, you're going to really enjoy what it's set up for Justice League. Another thing too is the humor in this movie is very good. They bounce off each other very well. You also have to admit that Joss Whedon and Zack Snyder are actually pretty good as far as a backup director for Zack Snyder, because you actually got to see a little bit of difference of how they work together. Because you can actually see, hey look, there's a little bit of darkness, a little bit of light, and, you know, that's pretty much the difference between Joss Whedon and Zack Snyder. But it's still a Zack Snyder film. There's no credibility taken away from Zack Snyder as a director for this movie. I like Jason Momoa as Aquaman, I liked Ezra Miller as the Flash, and I also like Cyborg, and I also like Wonder Woman and Ben Affleck as Batman. So, another thing too is, does this movie actually work? The movie works out perfectly well in my opinion. Yes, it's very fast-paced, but it's not in a mess of a film like Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad was very choppy, very cut and paste pretty much, and each scene didn't really match. This is more of a step forward for DC in my opinion. I've had a great time watching this movie twice in the theater. The visual effects, I'm going to be honest with you, the visual effects is not the best because they were trying their hardest to actually go out and get this thing pushed forward towards this release date. Now, does not take away from how good the movie is. But there's just like maybe two scenes in there that I actually felt like, you know, it felt like a 1970s visual effects rather than a 2017's visual effects. But still, it was a good movie. That's only a little small nitpick on that. I felt like everything worked in its own purpose. I felt like, you know, they did do a little bit of rushing here and there. But it wasn't enough to actually make me not enjoy this movie because I enjoyed it for what it was. But anyways, I'm going to give this movie a 5 out of 5 for the simple fact I enjoy the character layout. I enjoyed the plot development. I enjoyed the humor between Bats, Wonder Woman, and all the other characters. I felt like that Jason Momoa was Aquaman. I felt like Ezra Miller was the Flash. I felt like everything in this movie actually worked to its advantage. Yes, there's a lot of things that's actually cut out from this film, but I'm hoping maybe a director's cut might actually clear some of that stuff up. But other than that, as this movie is released and everything, I suggest that you guys go out there and check it out for yourselves, because I feel like this movie deserves what it deserves, and it doesn't deserve a $96 million opening weekend. It deserves more than that. This is a step forward from them, not a step backwards. I think that they're actually going to make it up on the second week, and I think that the DCEU is actually safe for right now. We'll just have to see about Aquaman and everything else and how that goes, but other than that, I really enjoyed Justice League for what it is. So tell me what you guys think. Did you like Justice League? What didn't you like about Justice League? Tell me below. Give me a thumbs up, and until next time, bye-bye.